Hi guys, and welcome to the latest video. As some of you will know, over the past year now I think, we've been listing predominantly radio control car parts. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I was about to do this morning as well. As you can see just behind me here, on the floor I have got absolutely stacks and stacks of RC stuff waiting to be listed. There's tons here, and the thing is, even though there's a lot of stock here, it probably nowhere as bad as it looks, because you're going to have a lot of multi-quantity listings. So for example, these batteries, they're new in packet, so you can sell them and send them via Royal Mail. If you look at the Royal Mail website, that will confirm that as well. So I've got tons of these brand new batteries, or in a new old stock, and nickel metal hydride batteries last for absolutely forever pretty much. So these are new, they just need to get charged and get going, and I've got probably, I don't know, 10, 20 maybe at least, if not more, of the same one. So it'll be multi-listings, job done. So for example, there's an RC part, like a bag of I don't know, hardware of some kind. I'm not sure what that exactly is. Looks like some washers and some pins. So that'll be one listing, and it'll be a bunch of them done. Gears, again, I'll have tons of these gear bags. They've gone a bit gooey over the years, but yeah, again, I'll have multiples of these. Multiples and multiples and multiples. And that's what I absolutely love about this stuff. So, you know, that's what I absolutely love about doing that. However, what that's meant is it's really spoilt me, and when it comes to listing one-off items, I'm finding it a bit of a chore. So what I thought I would do is, in an effort to force myself to list something that's not RC, I thought I'd just take you along on my whole listing process on what it takes to list an individual item, and just like whether it's worth it for me, but if nothing else, it's going to get me to list an item that's not RC. Okay, so underneath there you can see some envelopes, and there is a Sony VCR which I bought yonks ago for a whopping £5. And I'm pretty sure it's worth some money because it's a decent looking VCR, but I just haven't gotten myself around to even testing it. The thought of testing it, listing it, I much prefer listing the RC stuff, so that is what we're going to list. Here's a closer look at the VCR. It's going to need a bit of a wipe down because, I mean, there are some scratches on the case, so that is something that will detract from the value, but you can see there's some kind of marks there which will probably wipe off. Here's the remote for the VCR. When you're going to sell an electrical item with a VCR, well, when you're going to sell an electrical item with a remote control, you may as well take the effort to check that all the buttons are working, not just the main one. Sometimes people have the tendency of just checking play, stop, pause, and that's it, and they won't bother checking the number buttons or the display button or the eject or whatever, and it's going to be the one thing that the buyer is going to point out and potentially cause a return, or you having to give them a partial refund, and you risk causing yourself unnecessary hassle. So if you're going to sell something with a remote, make sure all the buttons are working. Yes, it adds a bit of time to your listing, preparation, etc., but that's the cost of listing an item like this. But the good side is, obviously, you'll get a nice little sale out of it. Okay, so step 2, I'm not sure if I'm following the steps correctly. The next thing to do is to test the VCR. So I've actually got a combi television unit here that I keep specifically for testing these things. So I've had to dig it out. It was dusty, covered in cobwebs, there were spiders. It's been a bit gross. But anyway, there is the VCR and there is the TV. So now it's time to test it. If you can hear that jingling across the floor, that's Alf. Alf? What are you doing? What are you doing? Sniffing along the floor and then your chain's kind of dragging along. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to test this out. So we'll see what happens. So you've got to make sure you've got a TV, a SCART cable, and then obviously you need something to test And I'm using Felix the cat on VHS. I keep that for testing. I don't know why, but that's what I've kept. So let's go for it. Let's switch on the TV. Okay, that's a start. Now we want to put the TV on the AV input if it doesn't automatically. Okay, it is already on AV1. That's where I've plugged in the VCR. So let's switch on the VCR. And we have got some kind of a display, which is a good thing. Now let's see whether this actually works. There's Felix. Let's just stick the VCR into the machine. And it's got a little timer there. The display. This is another thing to notice. Let's just turn that down.
The map says that this is Inca territory.
Okay, let's turn that right down. Sorry about that, guys. So there you can see that the display is looking very nice. Sometimes the display can get faded, so it's worth making sure that the display is working correctly as it should. It's not faded, none of the actual digits are coming across faded. And then you can see, well, you could hear it at first, and now you can see that the picture is working absolutely fine. Cartoon is working fine. Then you can just test a few basics. Normally you will find that there's like a few buttons on the VCR itself you can test. So you've got the pause button, and that's working, and the pause is really good. So yes, you can see the VCR is in good condition. If I press it again, it'll unpause. And you've got fast forward. If you hold it, it does it. Rewind. Yeah, so that's working as well. Let me just make sure. It takes a bit of time for it to start rewinding. There you go, and you let it go and it starts working again. So that's all very well. So now it'll just be a case of me testing the remote control to make sure that works. And that should then be the end of it. Okay, I've now got batteries in the remote control, so we'll do a few basic tests. I mean, you can change the program up and down, and you can see that on the display the program is moving up and down. Program number 1 is on 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there you go. So that's working. I can obviously use stop, play. So we've established that this is the right remote control to eject as well. We've established it's the right remote control for the VCR. Now, to save time, what you want to do, rather than actually testing each individual feature on the VCR, what you want to do is just get your excuse the mess everywhere. Get your phone out, bring the camera app out, and then what you want to do is you want to. I'm not going to be able to show you this. Actually, I might. Let me see if I can. Let me just put you down here. Okay. So you want to get your camera app, and then you want to hold the remote in front of it and press every button. And as you press every button, you can actually see on your phone display a blinking light, and that's the infrared light that you can't actually see when you're looking at the remote with your naked eye, but through the camera app you can actually see when I'm pressing a button, seeing the infrared light. So you have to do that for every button, and once you've done that, you will know that you've got fully working remote control. And then it's just a matter of cleaning up the VCR, taking some nice photos, and then finally listing it. So we're getting there, guys. Let me just test the remote. Okay, guys, when it comes to cleaning, especially when it comes to cleaning electrical items, I love using this stuff, which is isopropyl alcohol. It's a bit pongy as well. Let me just quickly give this a little wipe down. Yeah, this is going to need a bit of elbow grease if I can get anything from it, really, but yeah, I think this is going to clean up as well as I thought it would. I was unable to get a lot of the marks off, unfortunately. I think the case on the front, on the top, just has some weird marks that I just can't seem to to get rid of. So that is what it is. I'm not going to waste any more time trying to polish it up. The front of the VCR is in good condition though, and that's the part that most people are going to see once this has been put into a cabinet. One other thing I recommend doing, it makes life easier, especially when it comes to shipping and when it comes to taking the photos, is to tie the plug up using a rubber band. So I'm just going to get that sorted. Nothing fancy, just a simple tie up like that, and that'll make it nice and easy to photograph. Finally, I'm ready to now photograph the VCR. And again, when it comes to photographing, it helps if you've got a nice big display or a nice big photo area. So I'm using this worktop table, and I've got this little vinyl sheet and my light set up. So I should be able to get some nice photographs of the VCR on a white background, and hopefully that will help sell it. Okay, now I've got the photos onto the computer that I took, and I'm now going to bulk edit them. I tend to have to brighten my photos, which is something I need to work on. So I bulk do it using Windows Photo Gallery. So I've selected the photos, and now I'm just going to go to Edit Composure and just choose that option there. And you can see it's just brightening each photo. You can see it just makes it pop a bit more. You see, it's going to overexpose a couple of those, like that one of the back's going to get overexposed. So I'm going to I can revert that one back to the original, I think. So there's no point in doing that. You know, so I'm going to select that one and just put that to like normal, and then there you go. That's kind of normalized it. So now I can have a look at the photos and see what they look like, just to preview them. So they look decent. You can see what's what there. They can see the marks that I can't get rid of. It's not in the best condition, the case. I'm going to be focusing on the fact that it's in good working order more. There you go, there's a close-up of the model number with the serial, and then that's the end of it. So that is the photo sorted out. Now it's time to do the listing. Okay, so I've done a little bit of research, and this is not a model that comes up for sale very often. And the last one that I could find that sold was from February 2016, so over 2.5 years ago now, pretty much. And it sold for £50 with free shipping. I'm sure I can do at least as well as that. I mean, I'm probably going to put it up for $69.99, and I offer like European shipping, etc. So I should be like, you know, my own international shipping, so it should work fine and get me at least that much money for it. So not a bad flip, from 5 to 50. So we'll see what we can do. So here is my final listing completed. I've gone for $69.99 with best offer, and shipping is $8.99 to the UK, and I do ship across Europe and the rest of the world, but I'm charging like $29.99 because by the time I package it up, etc., it may end up costing me more, so I'd rather be in control. So you can see the photos have come across quite well. Bit darker than I'd like, but it's always difficult on a white background when you've got like a silver machine there. I would have liked to fit in art couture in the title, but that's not possible. I've got too many other keywords there that I'd rather have. So we will see what happens. I might remove a few of those words to put the art couture in of this, you know, specific range, whatever, but it should be fine. Now it's just a case of waiting for it to sell, and in the meantime finding somewhere to store it. So all in all, it's not taken a great deal of time to do all of that. Certainly, you know, considering I've been filming bits of it as well, it has not actually taken a massive amount of time, but still it's a lot more time than I'm used to. I'm used to just getting an item which is brand new. I don't have to test it, I don't have to research prices, I don't have to do any of that stuff, and it's very much easier to do my multi-quantity listings on the remote control new parts, remote control RC parts. So that's a lot easier in terms of less time. Once the listing is done, it's multi-quantity, and obviously storage is a lot easier. I can store a lot more of those than I can VCRs. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys the process. It has gotten me to actually list it. It's been sat there for ages, and maybe now I'm going to start listing some other stuff that I've got that's not RC. Just at least if it's listed, I can sell it and get it out of the house. Can I see myself buying another VCR anytime soon? I don't know, it depends how I feel once I sell this and have to package it, because again, that's the other side of it. When I sell an RC thing, I just shove it in an envelope, large letter, it's gone. This is going to be, you know, boxing it, wrapping it in cardboard and lots of bubble wrap, blah blah blah. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found seeing like a little insight into the listing process of a video useful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. If you've got any comments or suggestions for future videos or on this video in particular, please leave those in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.